Hey guys, Greg here with a tutorial video. What I want to talk about today is locating areas of support and resistance. So before getting into it, let me just pull this up real quick and then we'll crack on. So yeah, legal disclaimer, trade at your own risk. Okay. Remember, paper trading exists. I recommend for everyone to test their strategies first. Paper trading, stocks, options, and investing in general are risky and can result in considerable loss. I'm just here to share the best advice from my experience in the markets that I can. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a stockbroker. Yeah, some of these stocks my own shares on, and some my own option contracts on, and some I plan to invest in. But nonetheless, none of this here is financial advice. If y'all are having trouble in the markets, seek professional help. Hopefully, you guys find this beneficial. So, yeah, let's get back to it. You guys are going to see that I am looking at the Thinkorswim trading platform. I've actually detached the chart. If you were looking at the normal kind of setup with the multiple tabs along the top, you would see the charts and the first tab under there. And I will be doing a full setup video, but just so you guys know exactly what I'm looking at, it is the individual charts function on here. I have set up a few tools at the top. I'll be doing a future video on how to set those up so you can set up your favorite indicators. But yeah, getting into it, the objective of today's video is to be able to draw proper horizontal trend lines along areas of support and resistance. Before moving forward, you're going to notice that I have the ATR and the expected move up in the corner, and also some volume stats and some funky colors with unbalanced volume over my volume. I'll be doing some videos to explain that. So let's just double check and make sure that we have a couple of our chart settings on the same page before we move over. I find this quite beneficial for forecasting and charting things out. So we have this data for the future, as there's one thing that we do know about the market is it will always repeat itself. So if you guys notice, I have quite a bit of space out in the front here. The default is right up in the front. So let's go up into the settings and walk through and just get a couple of things for the time being, at least on the same page. So we're going to come up to the chart settings cogwheel at the top. We will select that. It's quite important to make sure that your drawings are set to open high, low close, OHLC. The default is on none. Also, you'll notice that the default is set to overlap the volume. If you see, that just makes things really confusing. So I do recommend to have the volume deselected and have a separate volume area on there. My tools, we'll talk all about these other settings in future videos, but what I really want to crack at is the time axis out here. The default on this is set as 0. You'll see right there. It leaves you really no breathing room at all during the trading day. I like to keep mine around 10, and that does give me a bit of breathing room to anticipate what's coming. When I'm sitting here, planning for my trading week, planning ahead, charting things out. I do like to have a bit more breathing room. So we're gonna go all the way out with like 100 bars right now. Each bar is gonna be relative to time frame, but nonetheless apply. So yeah, we've got some time out here on our charts. Okay. You'll notice too, I've customized a whole bunch of different time frames from the defaults. That's quite easy to do. I'll be doing some more videos on setups on that. But the main ones that we're going to be looking at here are going to be the 4 hour, okay, the 5 day, the 10 day, 15 minute, and specifically the 5 day 1 minute and the 5 day 5 minute. So if you need to add those in, you can just add a time frame. For example, if we needed to add the any type of an intraday, okay, time frame. Okay, we would click intraday. All right, the amount of days that we wanted. For example, let's have some fun. Let's earn a 3 day. Okay, for 3 minute. Just for the sake of having this here, maybe I'll fall in love with it. Add. Okay, and then we can organize that in the list so it drops down as you like. So hey, we got something new here. We'll take a look at that later. I've been playing with the 3 minute, pretty cool. 4 minute, excellent also. Nonetheless, that's how you add the time frame in. So remember, time axes, we can adjust that from here. Okay, favorite time frames, all set up through here. Appearance, you're going to notice that I'm using traditional candles. In future classes, we're going to be looking at Heiken Ashes. I've chosen to have them on hollow. If you want to fill them and have them completely full, it's up to you. You can fill them up in the green. It's simple as that. And one thing I've done is I've set my crosshair. It's defaulted to gray. I've set mine to red. I find that kind of stands out when we're looking at the black contrast. And you'll notice that the grid that's defaulted on here, you can take that off. So important to have that. Nonetheless, another thing I do like to do, and we'll bounce around through that, is take out the pre-market data. But for this class in particular, it's quite important that we do have that. If you do want to take it out, just so if you've been wondering, you can just deselect that one box. Do leave that, the start aggregation at market open. So when you turn that back on, you don't have to worry about it. You just need to deselect that, apply, and you'll notice, wow, that paints a totally different picture as to what's going on. But for the sake of keeping things simple, I'm going to leave this on, and then we're going to leave options, futures, forex all alone. Those are the general configs that we have. Let's click apply, and you'll see we have that pre-market data in there. Okay, show studies. And yeah, we'll get into some more details on this as they come up. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and click OK. Okay, so remember what we did in there was we ensured that our drawings are going to snap onto the candles on the open, high, low, close points on there rather than just have them in arbitrary points. And we also gave ourselves this breathing room out here and ensured that the volume was on the subgraph. Just so you know, this is as small down as we can get it. We will be adding other indicators in other videos, but without going too much into that, it's absolutely essential to understand basic support and resistance. So let's start. Support can be defined as an area where we have strong buying support. It tends to be in lower price regions, okay, in the lows, okay. So that's where we're going to find the price is supported and draws buyers into the marketplace. Hence, we want to be able to identify these areas. Conversely, we are going to have resistance. Resistance is going to be found in areas of highs in terms of the price action. So I am looking at Peloton. They've got earnings coming up here. This is going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. So I think a good idea for us to have this charted out. So remember, support, okay, and it's like a floor. Okay, we're going to find here, once we draw a couple lines off of it, that price is going to bounce, okay, off of support, and it's going to bounce off of resistance. And if we're able to anticipate where those zones are based on previous price action, that can help us to nail targets when we're going long. For the newer guys out there, remember long, okay, doesn't mean the amount of time that we're going to be holding a particular stock, option, or whatever derivative. It's going to be our directional bias, meaning that we think the price will rise. Going short doesn't mean that it's going to be a short trade. It means that we believe that the market will be moving in a downwards direction and the price will decrease in value. So just to clarify that, I've heard a few people ask me. It's a very fair question. So long and short would be your directional bias, to use the proper terminology. So yeah, let's get back into how do we find areas of support and mark them up on our charts to nail these entries, nail these exits on playing playing options or playing stocks, forex, whatever you wanted. So I think the best thing is to really use a top-down approach. I've chose Piton, just it was just a random one that's out here. What do I mean by a top-down approach? Is taking a bird's eye view. So we're gonna auto zoom out here. You've noticed that I added those time frame in. Hey, let's be crazy, guys. Let's see what the 3-day. Whoa, that's pretty cool. I like the 3-day, 3-minute. I think I'm gonna fall in love with that. Let me learn it first before I teach anything. So we're gonna go back to some more common ones where we were. We're gonna just kind of take a top down, look where we are in terms of where is Peloton. Okay, we're gonna eye out a couple of key areas of support and resistance out here. I'll be doing some more conversations about gaps where we can see big areas. Those are areas of strong resistance. Okay. Also, other areas of strong resistance is where we can see confluence. Confluence is where the price kind of does not move without ease per se. So these are areas of kind of support and resistance. So marking from the daily, I think it is very important to have your all-time highs marked and areas of strong support on the bottom. So really, the objective of marking these areas up is looking to the left. Okay, we're sitting here looking on cash hours on Friday on this little candle here in the front, and we want to be looking back, and we want to be looking specifically, and that's why I like these red crosshairs in areas. Let's zoom this puppy in a little bit. Okay, we have a nice clean chart. Okay, and we're gonna want to keep that other candle, but we're gonna move back into here. Okay, where we saw kind of some explosive price activity. We want to be able to mark up as many points that meet the shoulder, and just so you guys can see. Okay, we have the shoulder, which would be this portion. Okay, of the candle, the body, and the wick. So we want to adjoin as many points of contact as we can. So we'll auto zoom back out. Okay, stretch it out a little bit so we can get a cleaner view, and we can use both price levels and rectangles to draw this out. I've set up a nice little kind of tool setup here. I'll teach you guys all how to do that. But if you need to find the tool set, you can just right click, okay, add drawing. Do be sure that you're in the zone that you want to draw that. You're going to see here if I come with it's just going to put me right in, it's going to lock me into that because I've set everything up that way. So, and I'm defaulted on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a price level, okay, from the top here, okay, or adversely, I'm going to look out with my crosshairs here. And we're just going to start marking our highs, okay. This is a good habit is to just have this marked out. So we'll just put a price level. Okay, add drawing, add price level. Whoa, what did I do? Activate drawing. We can always move it. You'll see it's going to snap right in here. So I think it's a good idea to have these all-time highs kind of marked out. We want to be looking at connecting as many kind of wicks and shoulders as possible. So we're just going to mark that right here. Note that connects to this wick, these shoulders, okay, just through the top here. And we have a very high price target. I know that's very ambitious to see Peloton back at the 170s, but hey, it's good to take a moment just to do that. Now, and we're going to be focusing more on support. So there is some very high targets that could be found in this area. Nonetheless, I'm not looking up there. I just wanted to give an example of how we would mark the highs. Okay, so we're going to be looking back here. We're going to be finding these are going to be very strong areas of support. We're going to move into an intraday picture to find more recent data. But remember, the market will always repeat itself. So looking back in the past, we can see in this region, right where I'm looking right around here, there's quite a bit of price action, and we should be able to connect up a nice little region. So if you notice I selected a rectangle, you could just start from where you want and just add a rectangle, okay, and it'll just bring you right in there. And I'm using the back of my crosshairs too. I'm really just kind of drawing with my crosshairs. I'm going to stretch it out. Okay, the one disadvantage about the rectangle is you do need to extend your street out, or if you don't, it will stop. This line is set to move out. Nonetheless, we want to find a nice area of support. And remember, these are broad regions, and we're going to see some more intraday price activity. So I'm just looking in here, and I want to connect kind of where we had a big sell-off. You can see here on this hanging man, and there's a lot of volatility through here, some confluence. Just connect up a nice area, and I am looking into this price action through here, so we can see roughly right up here through like the 197s, and we're dealing with this. This is a $5 buffer zone, so this is an area of confluence. And then to be more precise, we can come in with another price level. Through this area, you'll note that we have this gap, and then we have these shoulders and wicks up through here. So by drawing these crosshairs at the bottom, okay, and specifically what I'm looking for is when we have a trend, and you're going to note here a very nice example is this candle here is swing lows, okay, a swing low is when we're in an uptrend and there's a swing low, and the price drops down. These become critical areas. Swing highs would be the same as while we're in a downtrend. Price swings up, and you'll note here that this became a very critical point right here, and it still is a critical point. Is this swing high through here? So I hope you guys are following me. But I'm going to just mark these areas, and again, this is as rough as we can be. I want to connect up the shoulder, okay, and as many wicks and shoulders as I can. So the best area that I see through here is I'm going to just use a price line, just to have this right through there, is select that, and I'm going to take it off the shoulders right there, and that coincidentally hits right, and again, you can really only be so exact right there. Okay, that's hitting these areas right here. Okay, and you can see that there was a strong downtrend, and this is the close of this candle was quite important, along with the doji on the following day. Same with the price action moving on here, that this is all very important. So key of it is swing highs, swing lows. Okay, we have another swing low that is connecting right through here. You're going to see the base through here. These are all very, and it coincides. I didn't even notice that with this gap right in here. So you can see a swing low right through here is very important in terms of marking it up. So we'll just go ahead, grab another price level. Remember, you can grab that from here. If you guys are using mobile devices to trade, that's no problem, because all of these drawings will just transfer right over here. I'm going to go into the swing low, wick to candle, and you're going to notice I'm going to choose here on this one the shoulders of that bearish candle, as that coincides with the wick beside it. You'll see here. Oh man, stay. Okay, I think I got that just about where I wanted. Give you a little OCD on this. Okay, I'm going to move this up just a smidget. Sorry, duplicated. Let's remove that, price level 3. Okay, and again, you can only be so precise on here. I do want to get this a little bit higher up, but it's quite nice right here. And what we can see is that we are finding areas of, we have a very broad area of support. Let's define that a little bit more. Okay, coming in here is where we have some strong price action. I would add this price level here, and we can change the colors if we want to. Okay, but let's move this in again. I'm looking at my wicks out here to forecast. As we do know, earnings things dump. Piton, treadmills, people are out and about, people are moving around. This, I believe there are several lawsuits around it. So earnings have been volatile, but good idea to have this charted out so we can see if we have some possible short entries into Peloton. Nonetheless, putting one more price level in before we come into the intraday charts to get closer, more accurate price data, which will be in here for very specific support. Is you can see here where I drew from before at the base of this candle. Let's just get that as a price level right in here. So pardon me for my OCD. I think it is nice having kind of some of these buffer zones and price targets by using the rectangle. I've kept them gray as it doesn't really interfere. I anticipate to see confluence or heavy price movement in these areas. Nonetheless, yeah, let's move in. We've started with the daily. I think it's very important to start with that, with a top-down analysis. And I am being very detail-oriented. Let's come and double check this in the 4 hour and see how accurate we are. We can see there's been actually, that's very accurate, where we've seen some one punches into there. And we can come in here and start making some adjustments um, to our areas of support and resistance, but it's quite nice to confirm them from the past, as the market will always repeat itself, and come in here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and actually take out the pre-market data. I do find pre-market highs and lows are very important, but let's come in on 10 day before I do that. 5 minutes. Let's auto zoom out, see where we are. Cool. All right, great. So we can see here this was from a broad scope. Is this low is now actually a very critical level. We're going to mark that up on this low here. We're going to grab that right there. Okay. And again, you can only be so perfect. Okay, we can see there's a huge sell-off at this point to here, and this is coming into previous confluence from the past. Okay, so had we been on Peloton, we can see here where there's quite a big sell-off, looking, coming right in on cash hours, pulled up. What are we looking for? Okay, remember before is swing lows. Okay, these swing lows of each daily candle are very, very important. So we can see here, confluence came here, and we'll just add a drawing of a price level from here, and that's connecting throughout the day, right throughout this region on the base of the high here. So we're going to pull this back out, auto zoom. Okay. Oh, that's quite nice. It was hitting in through there, and more specifically, pardon me, let's activate this drawing and move it up to the top of that swing high to get the top of the shoulders. Shoulders coincide through here. I like to just move through here and make sure that I'm touching as many valid points that we have here. This would be taken through the trading day. So swing high, we have the daily high, the high here, and moving forward. Pardon me. Yep. So that swing high brings us exactly right into that. Exactly showing us now where we have strong price resistance. Okay, we can see that we have support coming in through here. Okay, now as day traders, we need to be doing the exact same thing as we did in the top down, is looking here, and I'm looking to the left and seeing what coincides in the front. So this looks, quite interesting, is the volatility that occurred through here. At that, where that bounce was there, can we line that up? This is lining up very nicely through this region, through this region, through this region. Okay, and these are inherently swing lows and daily lows. So we're going to add in another price level. Okay, pardon me. And you'll see it connects up great here. This is absolutely perfect. So how can we predict this? From the morning volatility. Okay, the lowest low. And this is going to apply to any single market. Okay, previous day closes also. So you can see here and right there is absolutely spot on. Price level. Perfect. You can see that snap too. So we have some really nice areas of support. So you can remember this gray area I marked out is from the past. There's some pretty serious confluence in there. So this is an important price zone between the 96 and the 92 range. And then we have these previous highs that are moving up through in this region here on Piton. So support and resistance. I find that this just really helps to be able to nail those entries and exits on these plays. You can see that by coming into here, this area from gray we had mapped out before, a short entry. Coming in through here, understanding that we have strong resistance at this point, a break of your of the support that it had been playing on. So as I said before, it plays around a little bit more as as stairs. So we're going to see here that we have a daily low. We're going to add in as one more point here. This is going to act as future support, as future resistance. Pardon me. We had us kind of a bit of this coming up through here. I'd like to move that. Pardon me. Duplicate. Move that up there. It looks a little bit more spot on. You can see that hit that early morning high when it came out the trap. So I have these two. So I do tend to kind of mark these up into areas of possible resistance because this is a dollar move through here, $2 move here. I don't want to go too far in the rabbit hole, but we are starting to see a little bit of Fibonacci sequencing. If I actually were to pull these up here, I'm just going to add one more. And again, I am quite detail orientated on this, but these become very, very, very nice areas. If I look back at some of my previous trades, you'll find that we do want to kind of snap through some of these certain price areas. So how to mark up support and resistance? I'm using these price levels. We want to do a top-down analysis, and we want to really be focusing into specifically these swing lows. So if we need to adjust something, we can just activate that. Okay, and you can only be so precise right here. If I want to be absolutely precise, we have wick shoulder right there. I have shoulder wick. So I'm going to choose that shoulder right along there, and I'll zoom out and see where that puts me. So this is where I'm getting my support, my resistance lines to. I'm going to throw one more in here because we can see something quite important if I were to zoom in, which is a swing high right in here, and we can see that this is acted as a daily high on the cash hours Friday, and potential price points that came out here. Part of me doesn't want to think it's trying to stay on that one, like on the wick, just to get it right up coinciding in this back area. So if you can see, I'm really looking here. I'll just stretch back. Absolutely perfect. Perfect. So I have three kind of areas drawn out that I'd like to see price move through. Note that I don't have so much breathing room here. If I want to come back in here, time axis 100. Okay, so around the 5 minutes, and then we are going to move out a little bit, give us a little bit more breathing room. So time axis, we'll bring that out, stretch on up to 500. Okay, and you can see here that we have some possible areas of support and resistance that we're going to want to manage on any upcoming trades if we were to be trading Piton. Just using this as an example. So I'm throwing one more in here, part of my OCD, but you can see that was a spike down low. Okay, and that coincides with, if we look right in here, a couple of these swing highs. So you can really only be so precise on these, but they are lining up very, very nicely. So remember, areas of support are where we want to buy from. We're going to expect price to bounce off support, okay? And selling points or areas that we want to use caution on the trade will be at areas of possible resistance that we've seen in the past. So yeah, this is drawing proper trend lines. I hope you guys found this helpful. I will be putting together a couple more. If you want to change your colors right now, I've just left everything kind of bland. It is quite nice to come in, edit your properties. It depends if you're using other indicators. It can be confusing. I leave mine red generally. That's just kind of how I am, but if you do want to change them, you just come into your properties, you can change it to green. If you want to mark that as a buy zone for support, I do know people who like to mark their charts up like that. So come back in here, price level. We're going to put that as another green. Just if you want to differentiate between them. So key areas to be looking for on all prices are going to be the daily highs, okay, the daily lows, and before I leave, one more important one here, and I am marking this up quite a bit, but you're going to see I have some methods to move through charts quite quickly and just identify certain trends. So I'm going to pull this up here on the close. The close is quite an important point each day also, and that's a swing low on that close. Nonetheless, yeah, that is drawing accurate trend lines from a top-down analysis. So you can see our daily, we do have a kind of quite a bit marked up in here, but as we bring this down into the 5 and 10 minutes, we have some quite critical points here that we should expect to see price react off of, and then also we do have this kind of region in the south that we need to be looking at. So without being negligent, I'm going to just mark one more area if PTOM is just going to crash. So we're going to put another price level down here. I don't want to be too far off, but we can just pop that right in here. Drawing that price level. So we do have this marked up quite a bit. So this is yeah, support and resistance. Again, we're going to start as we pass through areas. We're going to find out looking, and I find this most effective when we get into the daily around onto the 5, onto here. Let's see how it looks on that new 3-day, 3-minute. Spot on here also. You can see here these swing lows are just catching everything. So in a nutshell, swing lows, swing highs. It's really easy to start marking up your charts quite quickly once you get a feel for it right here, and it does help you manage the morning volatility, find good entries, exits, and manage your trades quite nicely in here. I know this is marked up quite significantly, but it's up to you how many you put in and how you use them. So yeah, hope you guys found that helpful, and look forward to trading with you.